Click, 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 click. Happy Star Wars Day! For me, every day is Star Wars Day. Hello, and welcome. This is Star Wars Outlaws, and I am incredibly grateful to Ubisoft and to the awesome team, the developers who put together this game and gave me a chance to play a little bit ahead of release. I got to play about 4 hours of Star Wars Outlaws, and until today I have been having to keep it all to myself, and I get to share it all with you. And the reality is, the hype is real. Look at the hype trains right over my face. What's going on, Sunsprite? Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. To start off, let me give me a gauge. How are you all feeling? What is your hype for Star Wars Outlaws? This is the first ever truly open world game in the Star Wars universe, and quite candidly, I am very, very grateful that they invited me to go and play some of this game down there. Quite candidly, I'm stoked about it. Sunsprite, thank you again for the 5 gifted subs. If you got one of those 5 gifted subs, please be sure to say thank you. Appreciate you being here. Yes, it's canon. Of course, this is absolutely partnered with Lucas Arts and Disney and Star Wars itself. The story takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So, to give you a little bit of context where we are in the beautiful world of Star Wars, the Star Wars universe, we are after the Battle of Hoth. The Empire is obsessed with squashing out the rebellion. And so they are, as Leia says, tightening their grip. More star systems are slipping through their fingers. And this is a time rife with criminals. We got Jabba the Hutt out there. We got the Hutts living his life. We got the Pikes. The Pikes are a new faction that we're going to learn more and more about that. Basically, as a Star Wars nerd, my favorite expanded universe book was Shadows of the Empire, and this game takes place in exactly that window. This is where, honestly, it's where I did a lot of my daydreaming as a kid, playing Star Wars games. And thinking about, what would it be like to be in the Star Wars universe? They had at the event a panel with the developers. I got to meet some of the actors. I got to meet Humberly. Humberly plays Kay Vess, who's our protagonist. I also got to meet, I don't want to spoil too much, but in any case, we're going to have a very wonderful cast of characters. I'm very excited to learn more about them. And to play through the game. So I got to play about 4-ish hours of the game. And I am able to share with you an edited version of. I had to pick my favorite because each creator that was invited could share like a slice, about 20 or so minutes of gameplay footage. So I didn't get to meet D. Bradley Baker directly, but he was one of the speakers up on stage. For those of you who don't know, D. Bradley Baker is the voice of the clones in the Bad Batch, and in this game, not only does he play Nix, our lovable sidekick companion, but also Jabba the Hutt. Which is pretty awesome. For those of you who don't know who Nix is, this is Nix. And we've already reached our subscriber goal. Well, I think it was ongoing from the last stream, but thank you for the goal. Thank you for the smash. It's little me. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate those 25 gifted subs. Holy moly, that's a lot of hype. Thank you. 25 gifted subs from It's Little Me. Please be sure to say thank you. You can check out the starter kit. It'll show you the way around the channel. This is a little Nix Plushie that I was gifted, and in fact, the folks at Ubisoft were very kind to gift me another one to share with all of you on today's stream. So this is going to be the prize at the end of the stream today after we share the early access footage. I can answer all of your questions in chat. I'm allowed to talk freely about my experience playing the game now that the embargo is up. And really, really, really grateful that I was invited to this. Not only did I get to play the game, but I went down to Here, I'm going to turn this up to Galaxy's Edge. I got to go to Star Wars, Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge, and we flew the Millennium Falcon. We built lightsabers. We did a lot of really awesome stuff, and I had a ton of fun. And I got to talk to the team that was there, and I said, "Why did you invite me? Why me?" There's so many people out there that are just like, huge in the gaming space. I was there with journalists and with gigantic content creators and people that have like millions and millions of followers on all these platforms and stuff. I was like, why'd you pick me? Why'd you let me come to this? And they said, because you have such an engaged and positive community, and that's all of you. So before we even get into this, I just want to say thank you to you all, because your reputation precedes you. And the fact that you are all so engaged and so positive and just kind people. It's one thing to have a lot of folks retweet your thing, but to have a whole bunch of kind, nice people do it, that goes a long way. So just know that though you may not know them in particular, the developers of this game, they like you, and they like me for it. And so not only did I get to go down to Disney and play some of the game, but I got to meet a bunch of other awesome creators who, if you want to know more about the game, everybody's getting to share different pieces of their experience. I'm going to turn my mic up just a little bit. Check. How's that? So I just want to shout out that there's a lot of awesome channels that are going to be sharing their feedback and stuff today. So if you want to see more of the open world, look out for it. I have a friend that I made down there called Chewy. Chewy's on TikTok mostly. Chewy_live_. He's going to be sharing his feedback. I met some friends at a group called Finding the Force. And so, long story short, there's a lot more footage out there, and I'm going to show you my favorite little bits and pieces. The footage that I'm going to share today is going to have some jump cuts in it. So this is not continuous. This is not. This is going to be pretty much my talking points, the stuff that I wanted to tell you all about. And so it's a little bit of, I may pause it as we go through and can answer some questions and things for you like that. Jed Ted, welcome back for 73 months. Hello. And Jen Kins, thank you for being here for 9 months. I appreciate you being here. Miss Gems, thank you for the big cheers. And LJ, welcome and thank you for cheering. I see Camlin is back for 10 months and LJ is back cheering more. And Raleigh Jogger Jones is back for 43 months. Nix, my beloved. I'm screaming at you referencing the Bad Batch. Yeah, so isn't that cool? I mean, it makes sense that the clones would be played by the same actor, but D. Bradley Baker plays a bunch of, if not most of, the Bad Batch, if I'm not mistaken. Torrigs, thank you so much for being here with a gift sub to Jack Braun and Teeny Skies. Welcome back for 11 months. Alice Ree, welcome back for 2. And LJ again is cheering. And Kooky Official, thank you for the double gifted subs. Sasha Valentine, welcome back for 47 months. Hello to you on YouTube. Yes, I am familiar with that. Thank you. He plays all of the Bad Batch. Wow, that's amazing. Talk about a one-man show. That's amazing. LJ, thank you. And Elysium 4, welcome back for 10 months. Dancing in Flames is back for 2. Deviant Bet G is back for 73. Can we get some love for our moderators team? We have an awesome team of mods who help us out on Twitch and on Discord, and I really appreciate each and every single one of them. Thank you for being here with us as we stream this game. LJ, thank you for the sub. I appreciate you, LJ5066. Welcome to the spot. And it's little me. Thank you for the cheers. And again, that gigantic gift sub group hug. Love. Che Relay, welcome back for 2 months. Lindsay the Fox is here for 50. Wow, we got a lot of Star Wars fans in the spot. Geek Vibes. What's going on, Geek Vibes? Thank you for the gift sub to Batgirl. Headphone warning. I'm going to move my mic a little closer. How's that? Check. Geek Vibes, thank you so much. And pardon my appearance, thank you for the gift sub to Rug Fan. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Yeah, this shirt I got from for my birthday from Amelia, which is awesome. I actually have 2 shirts that say "Do or do not, there is no try," and on my desk I've had this note: "Do or do not, there is no try," since I went off to college. I wrote myself this note on the back of my business card. I made a business card for myself when I was under the impression that actors used business cards. And anyway, on the back I wrote, "Do or do not, there is no try." And this thing's been sitting on my desk for 19 years now. So I really, truly live by that. Black Falafel, thank you for the double gifted subs. And Video Nerd, welcome back for 3 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, if you ever don't see Amelia, she is with our baby. And I'm going to be your fine host for today. I hope you enjoy. Scarlet Stark, thank you for the bits. What would you like, team? Would you like to do Q&A first or footage first? We can alternate. We can also replay stuff. Do you want to see some game and then talk about it? That kind of seems like the order for me. Footage, some Q&A. Okay, cool. So for anybody who's just joining, I'll give you like a little mini recap of what I know and the main talking points that I remember from the event, and then we'll play the footage. I may also pause it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to shout them out while we're playing. Thank you. Scree. And Miss Gems 777, thank you for those double gifted subs. The Rebel Legion has got a gift sub from Amidala. I love to see that. May the force be with you. Plague Root says, thank you for the Star Wars wine time. I love it. And Ciara, thank you for being here for 9 months in a row. Amidala with a gift sub to the 501st Legion. Beautiful. And real quick, we actually had these prizes were gifted by Plague Root on our past stream, and I missed them just at the end of the stream. So let's start off real quick with some of our Baldur's Gate 3 prizes. These are by our friend Vic. There are D20 critical success prizes, and Plague Root had gifted them on stream. Wishing you all the best. So if you'd like to win, just type a thing into the chat. You're going to get both of them. We have our two stickers. They are about yay big. On the back of my phone, I have the Druid one, and Amelia's is the Bard one, inspired by our characters. And we were playing Baldur's Gate 3 on Saturday and Sunday these days. So if you'd like to join us, please do. We'll be back live. And I am going to be doing a Whatever Wednesday stream tomorrow at some point. But Whatever Wednesday streams, we don't really know when we're going to play them or what we're going to do. That's just me being a new dad, confused about my existence, and streaming a bit more and more. All right, everybody's typing in the chat if they'd like to win our sticker pack. And I'm going to start a new goal. Why not? There we go. And zoom. Okay, here we go. And the winner is Lil Lou 133. 1333. Congratulations, Lil Roo. And Plague Root, thank you for the cheers and thank you for the gifted sub. I wish you all the best. I hope you're doing well today, and I'm very, very grateful that you could join us live for this as well. So without further ado, let me give you like a little bit of a summary for anybody who's just jumping in here. If you'd like to retweet to invite your friends, now's a good time to do it, and then we'll get into the gameplay footage. So we play as Kay Vess, and Kay Vess is a scoundrel. And when they were talking, the developers on stage, they discussed when they had the opportunity from Star Wars to make a Star Wars game, they were pitched to put their game in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and they were just thrilled to have that as their assignment. And so they all went back to the drawing board, and everybody wrote down, everybody that was working on the game daydreamed up what were the things that they really loved about Star Wars. What was it to them about Star Wars that made it so special? And I'm curious, I'll throw that out to all of you who are here with us right now. What aspect of Star Wars is the most exciting to you? What are the things that make you feel like you're really in the Star Wars universe? Because they knew they were going to make an open world game from the start. This is what Ubisoft has done. They've done all the like Assassin's Creed games, of course. I see A Found Family. We see space traveling, space battle, of course, complex characters. I'm seeing a lot of things about environment. Yes, for me, that was the thing. Oh, the daydreaming about going to different planets and exploring the different flora and fauna. And in fact, the director of the studio was discussing this, and he said his own personal, angle into the game. I believe his name's Julian, if I have that correctly. He said it's about, for him, the creatures, the flora and the fauna. So these worlds are very fleshed out with living beings, and we'll see if we can pet some of them. Maybe we can feed some of them. I'll let you know. The robots, right? The droids, of course. We love ourselves some droids. Rebellion and scoundrels. They talked about this scoundrel fantasy, and so the world of this game, Star Wars Outlaws, is very much leaning into being a scoundrel. But what kind of scoundrel is entirely up to us. Do we want to be a scoundrel who's, sneaking and we're loot goblin scoundrels? Are we out there, making agreements and breaking them? Are we double crossing scoundrels? Another big thing about the game is this reputation system, and the reputation system has between 3, I believe, major factions. We have the Hutts, there's the Pikes, and then there's a new group that we'll show here in the playthrough. And you have kind of like a 3-tiered wanted system almost. You kind of can't be friends with the Hutts and also be friends with the Pikes. Not unlike Grand Theft Auto. If you have, this gang's opinion is very high of you, then maybe this gang is going to consider you an enemy. So we're going to have to be walking a line between these factions to get ourselves to the end of the game. And they did describe that it might be nigh impossible to make it to the end with all 3 of the factions on your side. But we shall see. Another thing I really like about Star Wars is that dark, gritty look of the original movies from the 70s and the 80s. And so we're going to see that too. The 1970s film grain is, I think, very effective in this. And quite candidly, there's some fun little mini games. There's a bunch of awesome open world stuff. I'm going to show you a few little beats of characters on the side that I interacted with, but there's just too much to get to include in this small section of it. So I am going to be curious at the end to hear what your favorite things are, and then we'll answer some questions and stuff like that towards the end. Thank you for being here. Thank you. This is awesome. This is awesome. The bounty hunters. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the bounty hunters were always my and the bounty hunters really live in that area. I mean, that's in the original trilogy. That's where we really start to pay attention to what's going on because of Boba Fett, right? We've got all the bounty hunters on the bridge of the Executor, and they're up there like Bosk and Forlom and Zuckuss. I mean, IG-88, right? So I was just very curious about all these characters when I was a kid. There's actually a book called Bounty Hunter Tales, I think, and that tells all the different stories of the bounty hunters, of Dengar rescuing Boba Fett out of the Sarlacc after he blows himself up in there, and a bunch of cool stuff. So we may see some little glimmers of some characters that we recognize. So let's get into it. The Nerdly Weds. What's going on? Hype for this game. I know. Me too. Nerdly Weds. Me too. This might be the game that I'm looking forward to the most right now. I'm not gonna lie. Helabara, welcome back for 30 months. TB Wonders, welcome back for 11 months. I'm gonna put on my earbud. I'm gonna stop talking so much, and I'm gonna let all of you get the goods. All right, hold on one sec. Got my own headset monitoring in my ears, so I'm echoing for myself. Check. Perfect. All right, let's get into it. Should we do this thing? Let's do it. Here we go. Without further ado, thank you again, Ubisoft, for inviting me to play Star Wars Outlaws. Let's go. That's Nix. We love Nix already.
We made it. Somehow. Come on. Huh, hello.
I'm sorry. I thought you were one of them.
Huh? Lots of new friends today.
All right, so those of you who played some Red Dead with us,
do this.
under pressure, K's adrenaline meter will fill. Once full, K can eliminate enemies. So here we have a jamming L3 and R3 to perform adrenaline rush, which is a little bit like Deadeye. So here we are, we can select our enemies on the screen, and as we highlight them, then we can execute fire.
There we go.
Good work handling those bandits.
Who are you, and what do you want?
Okay, you're mad about the pipe. I didn't think anyone survived the crash, but you did. So now, I'll help you.
I don't need help. I'm getting out of here.
How? You're an off-worlder, and this ship of yours isn't gonna fly anytime soon. But lucky for you, I'm a mechanic.
How many credits are we talking?
I mean, a few, mostly for parts. But good news, Tarsara is a great place for someone with your skills. There's a pike underboss named Gorak. Talk to him.
And he'll give me work. Got it.
That speeder in your ship will get you to Mirogana City easy.
If my ship's gutted when I come back, I'm gonna hunt you down.
Waka. My name's Waka.
I'll hunt you down, Waka.
Yeah, we'll see if Waka turns out to be friend-shaped or not. Now, I just wanted to run over here and show you guys some of the environment, but really, it's a very detailed world. It really feels beautiful to run through, and it's even more fun to hit up on the speeder bike. So check this thing out. Quite honestly, I mean, you all know how I am at manipulating vehicle travel.
Nice.
But this thing goes very fast, and this is unupgraded. You of course can upgrade these things, customize your own speeder bike as we go. Yeah, this is my gameplay from the event.
Whoa! This thing has some kick. Oh, okay, we're alive. We fix the ship, get to the core worlds, and land a big score.
So, if you've played open world games like Red Dead Redemption or you know, Spider-Man 2, I consider an open world game in its own way. Obviously, Horizon Zero Dawn. I like to play these games and just kind of like peace out from the main quests a lot of times. Just drive off into the distance and see what I run into, literally and figuratively. And this game felt that way. It felt like I was able to go wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, from the get-go. It was not at all railroaded. So here we are. This is jumping forward a little bit, and we arrive working our way towards the settlement. And as you can see, the Empire has basically got everything on lockdown. They've really tightened up, and so the sentiment for the Empire is not good. And because the Empire is so busy looking for the rebellion...
Let me see some identification.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It'll release on August 30th.
Torrin Valerio Nupp.
That's me. Mm-hmm.
The criminals can
All
run
right.
rampant, basically.
Roll on.
The Empire, the police are looking elsewhere. And so smugglers and criminals are kind of having a field day during this time in the Star Wars chronology. So here we have, with the Y button, or I guess it would be triangle on the PlayStation, we have our binoculars. And I just wanted to show these off real quick. I'm sure those are going to come more in handy. Here's a cutscene. Once we've arrived, we find where we're going to the underboss. This took a lot of finagling, sneaking around, going through some vents, and eventually we make it into the upper floor here. We're in the penthouse where we're not supposed to be.
This is Governor Thornton's city, not yours.
Drag him out. And tell the governor the payments will not increase. I don't know you.
What? You never make new friends?
I have
So
enough
bold.
friends.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay me to hang out with you.
She's funny.
Waka sent me. He said, you might have some work?
What a disappointment.
Hey, wait! What's your problem?
Smart enough to get into my suite, careless enough to use Walker's name. You're new to this world. Come back when you're not.
So here we
Waste
go.
of
This
time.
is level 1K, right? K has no clout, no reputation, minimal skills. Start of the game.
Boy.
So Nix steals Gorak's ring there.
Stealing from a pike underboss. First day? Easy. Name's Donka. I'm a broker for every job on this moon.
Not many syndicates where I'm from.
Hey, this is legitimate business. Mirogana is special, kid. Empire keeps this cantina neutral. But beyond these walls, it's war. You want to survive? Know the players. Look there. The Pikes have the most say, thanks to Gorak. Cutthroat, political. They pay up to play favorites with the Empire. Then, Crimson Dawn. Hungry for Gorak's kingdom. Crafty, sneaky.
You know Crimson Dawn, right?
Unlike the Huts. With them, what you see is what you get.
Weak way.
Out here, you live and die by your reputation. That said, a friend needs a little something stolen from Gorak's private base. Some information he'd hate to get out.
And who's hiring me to steal from the top syndicate in town?
Sorry, kid. In or out. That's all you get.
Tell your client K-Vess is in.
Cute. Desperate, but cute.
Yeah, the graphics are great. It's super cinematic. Very much into it. So, of course, here we've opened up our first quest, and welcome to the underworld. So we're going to have different reputation that opens doors if we have a good reputation, or it could be bad. If we please one syndicate, then it will often anger another, and our reputation is going to fluctuate between these partnerships. If we perform a job for a syndicate, then it's going to help Kay be good in the books. So here's a chance. This is now where we've snuck past and we're trying to break into the underboss's thing, his office, and we're sending Nix ahead. So Nix is the key in this game. As our companion, we can send Nix ahead. As you can see, Nix just stole a grenade off of this guard up ahead. And if we like, when this other guard comes around the corner, we could either trigger a detonation, steal, or even attack. So Nix jumps on his face, creates a distraction. Nix can also knock over things in the environment, smash pots, blow things up, or play dead to confuse the guards and distract them, not unlike how Peter Parker does his thing. And now we can blow up this, detonate this bomb in the background. Something I really like is that you do also have to be using the controls while Nix is performing his tasks. It's not just send him and he does it. You gotta send him and he do it, and then you manipulate him as he goes. Of course, we can do some melee attacks from behind. Kay's an absolute beast, punching to the kidney and then the face. Now we can send Nix ahead of us to interrupt. Tag team! Alley-oop. So in this part of the game, we were sneaking around to find our way to these energy barriers to disable the power that would help us get beyond and into the boss's office.
There's another one of these things.
After
Gorak's
we've
favorite
completed
spot
that
for
mission, we jump
recipes.
forward a little bit here.
Did I pass your client's test?
Why don't you ask her yourself? Meet Valera of Crimson Dawn.
You the one I was talking to before?
You pulled it off. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. I heard you stole something much bigger than this. A ship. Someone's favorite ship. Someone important.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Recognize her? Because Zarek Best showed up with one of their best. Asking
wanted.
a lot of questions.
Yeesh. A death mark from Zarek Besh?
What did you tell them?
Nothing. For now. You work for us again? It stays that way. The Pikes are on top here. And Crimson Dawn is making moves.
So here we have the information that we snuck out of Gorak's base, and we can choose if we are going to tell about this Pike trader, or we can save the information for Gorak. So ultimately, we're having a bit of a branching narrative decision-making thing here, and we can lean into which reputation we need to build with which of these syndicates. So I think in this case, I decided to hold on to the information for Gorak. Left this up on the screen just so you can see how the menu works.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Here, some fuel injectors for that ship you don't have. These should help you get off Tarsara.
So you know everything, huh?
Just the things that are important to us. You'll be hearing from me soon, so try to stay alive. Oh, and one last thing.
Yeah?
Bram's leg is healing nicely.
Thanks.
You're in our world now, Kay. Keep sharp.
Let's pay a visit to Gorak.
All right, I'm going to actually pause real quick just for a second. I saw actually a mention in the chat about the facial animations. I got a message from Marie, my friend who worked at Quantic and was the lead facial animation director for the animator for Connor, and she was responsible for Kay in this game. So if you like what you see from an animation perspective, same exact animation lead, which is pretty cool. Small world, right? Yep. All right.
Careful.
So this is a little mini game here, and to use the pick, it's a pattern game. We have to use the tempo of that lock and match the previous.
Blaster parts. Hey.
It's a fun little mini game, and it gets much more complicated. I also like that all of the notes and things that I found in the game were all pretty short,
There's a
easy to
workbench
read.
on the Trailblazer I got up and running. I've also moved her to a proper dock at a settlement called Jauntis Hope. Somewhere nicer, more comfortable.
Okay.
As you can see already, there's lots of looting, lots of stealing, lots of pickpocketing. If you're a loot goblin, this game will be up your alley, I think. Everybody plays as Kay. Kay is the canon protagonist. So this is a bit of like Star Wordle. That's clever. Yeah, this is a game where we're using these icons. You can also, if you prefer to not have the abstract symbols, they do let you change it to numbers. And Ruckef, this is my footage from, I got to play it about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so here we go. We just barely hack through. Download the data. So those are the two of the major mini games. The rhythm mini game for the lock picking, and then there's this hacking mini game with the passcode.
Oof, I know that.
Just real quick as a thought, there were a bunch of little interactions like this one that we're about to have, where I was running around throughout this settlement, and you could make choices with each of the characters, which I'm sure, like all other open world games, will have impact when we come back. So here's just one of them. I had to trim some of the other ones out just for time.
Look, I grew up around casinos. It's okay to call it quits, you know?
I'm gonna turn my luck around. I just need some credits. We'll split the winnings. Honest.
All right, what would you do? Would you give him 100 credits, 500
Here.
credits, or none?
I know what it's like to be down on your luck. Wouldn't mind a few more credits.
I decided to give him some credits because, you know, what could hurt? Well, I think when we come back, he's going to win out. So then there's also the opportunity to gamble around. You can play Sabak. You can bet on this Kanto Fathia Racing. And so, as you can see here, you pick an amount that you'd like to bet. You pick a horse, or rather a Kanto that you would like to bet against or bet on. Well, you'll see how I do.
This one's odd. Okay, come on.
The world feels very populated. There's a lot going on, and you overhear a lot of conversations. It's very, very densely packed environments.
The Claudiers are moving into position. Hopper showing off her rookie spirit.
So we're only in 4th place here. Not feeling confident. Oh, moving up to 3rd. 2nd place now. Close, but no cigar. All right, better luck next time.
I can't believe that.
So here, just to pause real quick, here I have run out of town and I'm going on a little quest, of course, as you heard us be sent on. And I was just having fun running off into the open world and just going into various buildings and talking to random people. And this is a moment where you can overhear, and overhearing is a great way to get intel or new information about where you might find loot or stashed goods of legendary items and stuff like that. So here we are just eavesdropping, and I've put together a little compilation of me kind of following the dotted lines on a little treasure hunt.
Did you forget the stash somewhere?
What do you take me for? I hid it behind the waterfall near John's
Behind the
home.
waterfall?
No one's gonna find it.
They better not. If we don't close this deal, we're Glocks to food.
Now relax, it's gonna be fine.
So now we have new intel, and I followed the way marker through. I followed the waypoint on the map. It's marked when you find it, and you deduce it down here to the lost step behind the waterfalls. Surprise! Hey, little brother! I found your cache. You know what? Wait, know why? Because you hid it behind a waterfall. It's a bit obvious, don't you think? Do you realize how much trouble we'll be in if we don't deliver the score? Luckily, your superior sibling is here to save the day. I've locked it up in Aunt Nessa's apartment, or behind her house. So it's a bit of a treasure hunt, so we have to follow the dotted line to get ourselves all the way there. This footage is from playing on the Xbox. Jump on our speeder. It's going to be on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. The reflections were gorgeous. Yes, there's a day-night cycle. Here to answer your question, can we pet things? Yes, you can pet even this lovely beast.
Everything's fine, buddy.
You can pet Nix, of course, our companion. And also I found these guys that you can pet and you can feed them, and then we found out, I was talking to some of the other creators, they were feeding them, and then these little dudes started following them everywhere they went. So be careful, I guess, which creatures you feed, because you're going to get followed. And then here is an encounter that I stumbled upon. I just wanted to show you a bit of the gunplay. I like how it pushes in to a closer over the shoulder. The haptic feedback on the controller was awesome. You had to keep an eye on your cooldown so your gun didn't overheat. You can pick up different weapons from fallen enemies, of course, things like grenades. And then I saw they were dealing with these creatures over here, and I thought,
Let's go, buddy.
maybe I can pet them too. And well, you can't. You cannot pet all of them. These beasts did not want to be pet, and I decided maybe it would be better to just run. These are not friend-shaped. I was like, can I pet you? Can I pet you? No. Come on, Nix. They're not pettable. They don't want to be pet. Anyway, just switching up the blasters, depending what you come across. Alright, so this is the next bit. For me, Star Wars is about space and space travel. This is the Trailblazer. This is Kay Vess's ship. Taking the jump through light speed. We can join a heist crew. And for those of you who've seen...
This is Kajimi, huh? Looks cold.
This is Kajimi.
Dark.
That's the least of our problems. The Ashiga clan's been running the underworld here for decades.
Hey, Nicole Tompkins, what's up? Thank you for the raid. Come on in, friends.
Queen Ashiga is determined to destroy...
Yo, real quick, just gonna pause it. Welcome, Raiders. Very grateful for you joining us. For those of you who don't know Nicole Tompkins, please drop a follow. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for the awesome love. Thank you, a friend from the Resident Evil world. Fantastic to have you here. We're checking out some early look footage at the good old, Star Wars Outlaws. This game comes out on August 30th. I got a few more minutes of footage here, and then I'm going to take some questions, and we may even run this footage back, depending if y'all would like to see it from the start. Have such a joy. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. It was wonderful to meet you recently, in the real life, in the IRL. Quill Starlord, welcome back for 3 months, and Anash, thank you for being here with the gift sub. Appreciate you both. Thank you. So one of the things, I played Star Wars Squadrons because I really wanted to be flying my own spaceship and doing some space battle and exploring the universe. And honestly, I got a little queasy in Squadrons, and so did Amelia. And so I was very relieved that this is a super steady flight and very wide field of view. So I felt very comfortable when I was playing this, and I'm usually somebody who gets a little seasick in space.
Well, then let's just get the safecracker before that happens.
So you can obviously fly off in all sorts of different directions and explore. You can scan the environment with kind of an environmental pulse. And this is just, I wanted to show you all the incredible detail moving through and sometimes crashing into asteroids. Just a bit.
I'm sorry.
Just a bit of ice. So we've located this nebula core. There's treasure to be found. And I think I jump cut here in a second to get us closer to the wreckage. The game will be available on August 30th. So we're only about a month away. So as you can see, it all felt very stable. It was very exciting to hit the thruster and move forward. Like, it all felt very engaged. And then just here at the last little piece is some space wreckage that I came upon. So you can find ships that have crashed. And just like pirates in the open sea, you can go and pirate loot, although sometimes you may find yourself encountering some foes. I felt that way the whole time I was playing the game. If I was on one mission, my short attention span loves a video game that interrupts me while I'm doing stuff. And so as I was exploring, I found myself, hold on one second. Some audio is looping from something else. There we go. I had like just a lot of little encounters as I was going along on my speeder bike. I was talking one time to this Rodian, and the Rodian was saying about, oh, there's this location that we used to go hang out by, these wind tunnels, and I went through these wind tunnels, and then I think I was set up. And I think that I was being kind of sabotaged by Tusken Raiders as I was moving by. And quite candidly, I did not feel like I was just moving from one point to the next. Shout out to my mods real quick. Thank you very kindly. Thank you for not spamming the same message over and over in chat. If you have asked a question, our mods have been pulling some of them for me into the to the chat over here. Thank you for being here. I'm going to go through some of those questions, and then if people are into it, I think I may play some of the footage again. But really, I'm excited for this game. I really have been kind of, I don't know. I've been wanting to just have a game that I can jump into from the start and like really like do a deep dive on. We just finished playing through Spider-Man 2 and I don't know if we quite 100%ed it, but close. And this game kind of feels like the kind of game where I could spend a long time looking for legendary items and awesome loot. The one thing we were asked to not share on screen were any of the menus and stuff like that, because I think it kind of spoils some things for people later in the game. But the customization of the blaster is insane. They've invented an entirely new but completely canon blaster. This is my Han Solo's DL-44 blaster, and Kay's blaster is modular. So as you go through the game, not unlike in, for instance, Star Wars Fallen Order, we were able to change our hilt and the pommel and all the bits and pieces, the emitter of the blade, the crystal, similar kind of thing here, but this is not a lightsaber game. This is a blaster game. This is a cowboy, smuggler, outlaw, criminal, underworld kind of game. And so you can obviously customize your gun. And one of the cool things that I do want to bring up that they mentioned, I haven't ever heard of a game that has this. You get XP when you play games, right? And you move up skill trees and stuff, right? But in real life, most of us learn from an expert. And so in this game, the way you up your skills is by finding and meeting experts. And so when you meet these experts, they send you on missions and they have tasks and challenges for you to compete in. And so things like racing. There was a race that I went on against this guy with a speeder bike. And then, of course, you can upgrade your speeder bike if you are successful in the race. And to me, that was just very immersive. I thought it was a very clever way to make the XP and leveling up thing feel like a little more narratively driven. And again, they talked from the very beginning about the flora, the fauna, the plants, and the animals of all these different alien worlds being very fleshed out and, something that I think is going to be really cool to play with. Raleigh Jogger Jones, welcome back, and thank you for the gift sub to Dark Superman. Boyce Games, thank you for that gift sub to Nicole Tompkins. And again, thank you to everybody who came over from Nicole's channel. I really appreciate you being here, Nicole. Thank you for the raid. Quill Starlord, welcome back for 3 months. Thank you for the love. Love it, love it, love it. So I have a couple of questions people ask on social media as well as from chat. So I'm going to start with the ones here on chat. I'm going to go then to the ones from X. And if you would like, you can send more questions into the chat. Tag at Descartes Games in the chat, and Amidala will get you into the mod room with a list. Do you think I'll need to watch some movies or series before playing to understand the story, or is it unrelated? Well, it takes place during a very active period of the Star Wars universe. But this character is a new hero. Kay Vess is someone that we don't know from previous games. So I think that it will be appealing to people who are both new to the Star Wars world or are longtime fans. I myself consider myself a longtime, lifelong Star Wars nerd. And, to me, this is right up my alley. I think probably the more you love Star Wars, the more you'll like this game, would be my guess. It feels very true to form, and I really dig it. There are some characters from other Star Wars projects that do make cameos. They did tell us about one major one, two major characters from the original trilogy that appear, but I'm not going to say anything just in case people don't want to be spoiled. All right, let's go for it. Here we go. The question from the Nerdlywed says, have you seen it on PlayStation or PC or both? Which would you recommend for smoothest play? So they had the option for us to play on either Xbox or on the PC at the event. I looked at footage from some of the people that were playing on PC as well. as the Xbox, and honestly, the only discernible difference that I could see was what the buttons were. So if you want to play with mouse and keyboard, you can play with mouse and keyboard. If you want to play with controller on PC, you could do that. If you want to play on PlayStation 5 or the newest Xboxes, I'm sure that you're going to have a pretty comparable experience based off the stuff that I've seen. Boyce Games says, is the wanted system anything like Assassin's Creed notoriety system? Any wanted posters that we can tear down? So yeah, there are, I didn't see wanted posters that I could tear down, but there are wanted holograms. They also had some at the event. One of the coolest things about this game was that, or not about this game, about the event, was that they had some really successful projection mapping that looked like holograms. There was like this giant net over the space, and they were 3D projection mapping onto it, so it looked like there was this big hovering hologram. So there are holograms, wanted posters. I would guess that they are leaning into some of the stuff, from Assassin's Creed. And that was what they said from the very beginning. They said, before we knew anything about this, we knew we were going to make an open world game. And obviously, the Assassin's Creed games are a big foundation of what they're building in for this one. All right, thank you. Mods are gonna keep pulling questions for me, but I'm gonna take them out of the queue as we have established here. Amidala716 says, was Outlaws created using a similar animation or design engine to Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor? I don't have a question. I don't have an answer to that question directly about the design and animation engine. I would imagine that they are building on technology that they've used for previous games at Ubisoft Massive. I'm not an expert on that, but I'm sure if you're interested to know, they had about 70 different creators who were there, and so I'm guessing that there are some people who know a lot more about like tech specs and that kind of stuff that could get into the detail of how the game was actually built. But it played very smoothly. It looked very good. I was super bummed when my time was up. I thought about it a lot on the way home, and I've been kind of thinking about it since. So I know that Tatooine and Kijimi Geek Vibes are the two planets that we were featured to play in. I got to go to Kijimi. I landed there and explored and was running a bit of a mission, but that was towards the end of my time, so I actually didn't have enough time to complete that mission while I was doing it, and so I didn't include that in what I have here today. But I did get to play a little bit on Kijimi. So obviously those two are polar opposite worlds: a freezing cold world and a desert planet. We'll see, I guess, when the full game comes out where else we get to go. La2203, can you leave a planet's atmosphere, or is it just a press of a button to the menu and then you leave via a cutscene? I don't really recall. I didn't do it when I started the piece that you saw me there flying. I began in flight, and then I flew over, getting closer and closer, and then I landed. But I don't know. That's a very good question. House Baelish Gaming says, I noticed the main character is skittish or suspicious and anxious. Is she just starting out her outlaw life, or has she been one that we know of so far? So yeah, she's a newbie. So the cool thing about Kay is a lot like Connor in Detroit Become Human. You got a blank slate, and then from where you build from there is the kind of Kay you develop. So if you wanted to get into like guns and explosives and be like Gunslinger Kay, you can be Gunslinger Kay. If you want to be having your scoundrel fantasy be something more of like the super stealth and using gadgets and that kind of stuff, you can build up your own kind of Kay. So as far as I understand it, it really is up to us as the players to decide what are the skills that are important to us and what things we want to build up, Hey, Baking by Brandon, thank you for the raid. Come on in and welcome. Thank you for hanging out with me. We're answering some questions from the footage from the Star Wars Outlaws, and what I may do here at the end, if anybody would like to watch back the footage, again, I may play that one more time without myself on the screen, just so you all can see the game on its own, because I know a lot of people want to check the game out before they order it or pre-order it or whatever. And before we do that, I'll pull a winner for our little Nix plushie. And I got some news, team. Actually, I got a little ping here. If the hype is substantial enough, if you would all like us to play Star Wars Outlaws on stream, I'm going to tell you this, I'm playing Star Wars Outlaws anyway, but if you want us to stream it, put it on the game recommendation form, !games in the chat. And I did actually get a ping from my friend that I just met at this event that if I want another Nix for another prize for another stream, we can have one. So I might have another Nix for an opening stream of Star Wars Outlaws. So if you wanna recommend it, put it on the game forum, knock out those other contenders, and let's do the thing. Beautiful. Let me get a couple more questions here out of the chat. AJ CEX says, does the game feel natural when you move around? Yeah, it does. And for those of you who move around in games like I do and get constantly lost, I learned a little quick tip from one of the testers, or the demoists as they called them. You can press up on the D-pad at any time, and instead of having the like in God of War, how there's the compass at the top, and you're moving this way or that way, if you press up on the D-pad, your little homie Nix can show you which way to go, and it pulls down and it floats like a waypoint in front of you. So if you're someone who's directionally challenged like me, Nix can help you find your way around if you get lost in some of the big cities or something like that. And then you're also going to be able to toggle that on in the accessibility features. They mentioned a lot of accessibility features. I'm sure there's going to be articles on it that go into better detail from people who know more about that than I do. But open world and accessibility were two of the main pillars that they built the game around. I see the question, can you customize Nix? Yes. Actually, when you go around, you can find different outfits for K, and you can find different outfits for Nix. And I found some wraps for Nix. These are his little sensors. I don't know if he's force sensitive, but he certainly is sensitive. And he had like little wraps, like he had like dreads or something, and it was really cute. And so of course, yeah, you can customize your character. You go back on the ship. I wanted to show some more footage from the inside of the Trailblazer, which is K-Vess's ship. And because they ask us to leave the menus out to not spoil anything for people, I didn't show the workbench. There's a closet that you can go back and you can change K's attire, and they have different stats. And I think that the ones for Nix, I think, are cosmetic, but maybe they have later in the game get more complicated. We just got to play a little slice. I think they said somewhere around 30 hours if you just mainlined the main quests. But of course, an open world game, 30 hours can turn into 100 hours really quickly. Well, really slowly, but you know what I mean. Crimson Ashtray says, is autosave based on checkpoints, or can you manually save anytime? I could manually save anytime, but also there were obviously cutscenes were triggering autosaves that I saw in the corner, and then there was definitely like a little icon that popped up, but it was very quick. I mean, there's no lag for the saving kind of thing. Is there a companion or a rival system? So yes, there is a companion system, and you're gonna squad up. There's some companions that we meet along the way. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to spoil. But of course, we have a droid called ND5. I got to see ND5's full cosplay costume build with K's as well at the event. I have a bunch of pictures that I'm going to share maybe closer to a playthrough, and there's one for, we got to keep one, and one is for a prize for today's stream. Captain Quesadilla says, is there any form of reminder system for the quest or side quest to keep you a bit on track? Yeah. Okay. So something I love about this game, and I got to talk to one of the concept artists of the game when I was there, and he asked me, he's like, so what do you think? I was like, well, I think it looks really good. I think it looks like Star Wars and it feels like Star Wars. Moreover, it sounds like Star Wars. Actually, something I noticed from the jump was that the sound design is impeccable. This is like, you know, we're living this ILM cinematic tier Foley. I mean, like, everything is very fleshed out and full and dynamic as far as how far away you are from things. Madam Kenway, thank you so much for being here. Hello. Madam Kenway? Kenway, why do I know that name? Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Are you related? Are you leading the Kenway fleet? Oi, how's it going? Yes. Nina Soros, hello, Edward. Madam, how's Edward doing these days? You know, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the one of the game. Actually, we've only streamed 2 Assassin's Creed games, but I really enjoy Black Flag. I actually thought about just jumping in and randomly just playing some sea battles. So, let's see, where was I going? My tiny brain. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. I was saying I was getting excited about no spoilers, and then I said some other thing. Sounds like Star Wars. Happy to be here. The droid. The feeling of Star Wars. The companion thing. Oh man, my tiny brain. The music is awesome. Oh yes, the reminders in game. The concept. I was talking to the concept artist, and I said, "Here's what I think. Really, truly, I love open world games, and I want to be able to go anywhere and do anything. But sometimes I feel bogged down by how much there is, and how much there is to read, and the menus, and like you find a note, and you got to read through like 4." Pages of things, and I just, my tiny brain can't do it, you know? And so I feel like this is an open world game, and truly open from the sense of like, I felt like I could run in any direction and do anything. But then when I was doing the anythings, it felt very clear as to what I was doing. It felt like they nicely rounded the edges of stuff. Like, an example would be if I found a note and it popped up and it's on screen, it's like 4 sentences, or like a paragraph was the most. The font was nice and large. I could easily read it. It was clear what I needed to do. It didn't feel like kind of convoluted or I got lost. The same thing was true of all the menus. I'm not showing them on stream, but for instance, when it came to the blaster, they're like, here's your blaster. And then there's 2 big sub menu buttons that are like aesthetics, or I don't really remember exactly what it was, but it's really like the look of the gun, and then like the performance or the power of the gun. And then once you go into those 2 menus, now you're here and you're just changing the look of the gun, and that's all just cosmetic. And then you're over here and you're changing like the components of the gun. You're switching out, you know, the grip, or the the trigger, or the sight, or the muzzle, or whatever. And so for someone who really likes to customize games, but like God of War Ragnarok, for instance, that menu of all of the things with all of the stats and all of the stuff, it makes me feel like a little like inadequate, you know, because I'm just like, I don't know, I want the best axe. Can you just like, what button do I push so my axe is good, you know? This felt like a nice middle ground between just like too simple and too complicated. I felt like they really did a good job of keeping it clean, and so that was good for also for the quests and stuff. It was very clear quest log, very easily color coordinated, nice big font. It wasn't like when I was playing Cyberpunk 2077 and it's like, you know, oh, that's +2 to something, I guess. You know, it was like it was easy peasy. Are quest time sensitive? Maybe. I don't know. How many endings are there? I don't know. Again, I only got to play about 4 hours of the game, which was honestly not quite enough. I would have happily just sat there and played the game all day. If they said, do you want to go to, well, I don't know. That's a tough question. Galaxy's Edge was pretty awesome. Thank you. Yeah, the small letters are really hard for me in games. Krea's Art, welcome back for 50 months. Super glad to be here. Thank you for joining us. Do I have any other questions from the live chat here with us here on Twitch or on YouTube? What's going on? I'll take a couple of questions, and then I think what we're going to do is we'll pull a winner for Kay. It's not for Kay, for Nix. Kay is not available as a plushie, I don't think. And we'll pull a winner for little Nix here, and then we're gonna share the footage again. But I'm gonna take my camera off for the second thing, so you can just see it in its whole glory. Let's see. Magnolia Sim says, did you get side quest in different ways? Yes. So you can definitely pull off the same solution in a number of different ways. It's up to us to puzzle our way into these things. If we want to sneak in, if we want to blast our way in, if we want to con our way in, or kind of climb up the ladder of influence. An example of that would be that first thing where we're going to find the Pike underboss. We got to get into his office, and there's a guy outside in the hallway there that I bumped into who's real sketchy, and he's like, hey, you want to go up into the penthouse? Like, I got a ticket, I can get you up there. It's only going to cost you 5,000 credits or whatever. And so I was like, I don't have 5,000 credits, I just started, so I couldn't like buy my way up, but like someone could, I suppose, if they wanted to just run around and steal stuff and then sell it all and then buy themselves a ticket and just go straight to meet the Pike boss because they bought their way in. You could do that. I ended up going in through basically stealthing my way into another area that I could get into an elevator, and then the elevator brought me to a floor, but then there was a guard who wouldn't let me pass, so I had to, of course, find my way around that guard. I will say another thing about this game, I bet in the accessibility options, there's ways to like highlight interactable objects more, or make things like a little more obvious if you want a simpler experience. But for me, something I thought was really cool is that it wasn't really super obvious what was climbable, she has a grappling hook, Kay has a grappling hook, so like you could really actually feel like you're in this like movie, and now you're moving around and you're doing stuff, as opposed to sometimes in video games I feel a little bit like oh, that's yellow, I'm gonna climb it, so I think it did a good job with that, but I'm sure that in the accessibility options that's a simple kind of a thing. Yeah, Eliza Frant, welcome back for 28 months. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it is also worth mentioning that this is not a sponsored stream. I was not sponsored to go down there and do it. They did invite me, and they treated me quite nicely going down there. I got to go on a VIP tour of Disney, so I guess that was a form of payment in itself. But this is entirely just my own reactions to this game. When we were watching a bunch of trailers earlier about upcoming releases, I was like, Star Wars Outlaws is one of my favorite. Can Nix get hurt or sick? I don't know. I hope not, but maybe. Maybe. Nix can do all kinds of stuff. Nix can steal for you. Nix can attack for you. There's lots of things in the environment that you can, like in Spider-Man, you can knock over or create a distraction, or you can detonate bombs for you. I mean, I'm sure that Nix gets more and more capable as well. I would guess that Nix is upgradable in that way. The relationship between Nix and Kay is paramount, and I got this question on Twitter saying, was there anything that about the game that I really loved or that really tugged at my heartstrings? And when they were talking on stage about this, they had some of the actors and the devs giving a panel, and they said that Kay is someone who doesn't need anybody, doesn't trust anybody. Kay wants to be entirely independent and on her own. And the chink in that armor is Nix. That you see with Nix this empathy, this compassion, this companionship, and this friendship, and you know that that both of the characters need each other to survive. So how Spider-Man is without his web slinging is how Kay is without Nix. So Nix is very, very much almost I think Nix is a playable character. Basically, they're two sides of the same coin, if that makes sense. And when I was first trying to do the stealth encounters, I was, you know, I'm not the stealthiest dude. And I was having some difficulty. I kept getting caught by the guards and stuff. And then I realized that I was not using Nix nearly as much as I was supposed to. So my one pro tip that I'll start off for the game is, you know, if you get this game and you're jumping into it, don't leave Nix out. Put Nix in the forefront. Nix is your secret weapon. Nix is your superpower, as far as I'm concerned so far in this game. And it's cool. I mean, I do think that there are lots of degrees of force sensitive characters in the Star Wars universe, but I like that Kay is just a scoundrel. Just a scoundrel. Not a Jedi. Farron, thank you for 13 months in a row. Thank you for your support. Oop. Appreciate you. And Catalina Eva, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Johan Anderson. And False Security, welcome back for 18 months. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I do love Star Wars so much. I do love it so much. Do enemies keep respawning, or is it just in certain locations? Ask Michael. So I was finding that I was able to like clear an area of enemies. I occasionally did feel overwhelmed. Like, you know, when you're in, you know, Witcher and you're going along and you find some beast that you're like, oh, I'm going to go fight this wyvern as a level 4 Geralt. And then you just keep dying over and over again. That was happening to me because I was like, oh, there's all these pirates over there. And so I would, you know, open world myself into a world like when you're Aloy as like level 2 and you're going after a Thunderjaw and you just keep getting crushed, you know? So I definitely felt that sensation, which is good because that means that you're going to be able to like grow and evolve your character to be able to go back and deal with that kind of stuff. So the world is densely populated. It doesn't feel like, oh, now I'm in level 1 of the dungeon and all of the creatures are goblins and they all have 10 HP. And now I go to level 2 of the dungeon and they all have 20 HP and they level, you know what I'm saying? Like it felt like the world was dynamic and like if I went over there, I could just get attacked by bandits. And if I don't flee fast enough, the bandits are going to kill me because I don't belong there. And the same thing was true. The big thing in this game with the reputation system is that you could have a different experience in different locations based off your reputation at that time of playing. So if you're somewhere and you have a good reputation with the Pikes and you need to move through their settlement, no problem, you're allowed to be there. But then if you are doing a bunch of jobs for the Hutts and the Hutts and the Pikes are not getting along with each other, and now you're highly favored with the Hutts, and you show up and you try to get into that same settlement, the Pikes are coming after you. And the same thing with Crimson. So I thought that was super cool, and that was something that was unique to me in games. I mean, I've seen like simpler versions of that, but to have it with the three different groups is really cool. Boys Game says, it seemed like you were made to skip past a lot of the open world. So did you at least get a feeling that you had a variety of options on how to fulfill quests, take down enemies, etc.? Yes, I did not have to skip through the open world. I had to skip through the open world in my edit. I have 4.5 hours of 4K footage that they gave me on a drive that I could take home and cut up. But the rules were that any of us could only share 20 minutes at a time. So I had to kind of pick and choose a little bit. So I just want to give you an idea of like what it feels like. But I did actually spend probably like, of those 4 hours, I probably spent like 30 or 40 minutes at least just zooming around on the on the speeder. That's how I was in Ghost of Tsushima. I hopped on my horse, a good horse, Kage, and I just rode around Tsushima, and I feel like I'm going to have that experience here. If you like Star Wars, and you like Red Dead Redemption 2, and Cyberpunk 2077 is a little bit too complicated and tiny text for you, this is your game. And that's how I feel. I loved Red Dead Redemption 2. I love Star Wars. I like Cyberpunk a lot, but I did feel a little bit overwhelmed by all of the detail and the minutia and the stats and the tiny text and stuff. And I feel like they did a great job of not falling into that trap, but still giving us an open world. And really, as I understand it, this is the first truly open world game in the Star Wars universe. Can Nix get a bond increase or upgraded abilities? Yes, I think he can, but I don't know for sure. My instinct is, based off what I've seen, that Nix is going to grow and develop alongside of Kay. And a lot of times when they do these demos, they want to show you like the earlier part of the game so that they don't spoil it for you later. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where that goes. Kata Aries says, can Kay heal during fights? Is it like with the stims or something like that? Yes, I could heal during fights. I'm pretty sure I could heal during fights because I picked up like med supplies and stuff. The one thing that happened actually that I didn't expect during the fights, I really liked, and there was a lot more gunplay stuff that I didn't have time to fit it in here because I was like, all right, I gotta choose like a little bit more fighting or include the space flight stuff. The space flight stuff I went with, but I love the camera movement during the fight scenes. It pushes in over your shoulder. It has these really cool like texture effects of all the kind of like particles that are blasting off, the light, the ray tracing and the lights from the pistol blast. And then after you fired off like 2 or 3 shots, your gun's overheating because you're level 1 and your gun is level 1 and everything. And so then you have to, while you're doing this gunfight, you also have to hit R1 and time it inside. I think you saw that little window. There's like a little gauge. And so that was like a fun moment while I was firing to have to like manage my weapon. And I would imagine that as the gun gets more and more complicated or more and more improved, that maybe that window gets bigger. Like a reload kind of thing. Like your gun is overheating. But if you hit that reload and you time it, then you can continue to fire. But if I missed that, then I had a window where my gun had to cool down and turn back up again, which of course then that's when you have to hide and take cover and that kind of stuff, or just run. You can shoot while you're on your speeder, which is super cool. You're zooming along and you have kind of that Red Dead, the dead eye thing where you can select a couple targets. That they call it her adrenaline, I think. And so she can kind of like go off on a expert shooting spree, which is pretty cool. I saw lots of different kinds of weapons, but I think the way it's played pretty much is that Kay has her main blaster, and then you can pick up different weapons throughout your encounters and stuff. But that's like an item that you're holding on to as a like. My guess is some people at the event were mentioning like, wait, I don't like that you can like only have like the one gun at a time. I think it's just because this is the beginning Kay. My expectation is that Kay later on in the game levels up and can dual wield or something like that, or have like a long gun and a short gun or something. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm reading questions. If you've got some questions, feel free to drop them into the chat. I am trying to keep most of the questions about Star Wars Outlaws, though, as opposed to just other random questions, just because we have so many people here interested in Star Wars Outlaws for today. Can you swim in the game? I don't know. I mean, I was on Tatooine, and then I went to Kijimi. So Tatooine, no water. Kijimi, no water. One is very dry and one is frozen. So maybe, I don't know. Are there multiple save files? I would imagine. I don't know. Sally Cat, thank you for being here with the big cheers. And again, I played maybe the first like little window, the first 5% of the game, 10% of the game max. Bam Guyon, thank you for the gift sub to Wolfdell, and appreciate that. Let's see. Hydration breaks. I'm gonna just keep rolling here because my time is short. As a new dad, I gotta just keep going while the going's good. I'll rest when I'm dead, I guess. Here's some more questions coming into the chat. Thank you, Amidala, so much. Can we get some love for our mod team? Mods are awesome in dropping these questions there. I don't know about the endings because, as I mentioned, I didn't play to the end. I only played the very beginning of the game. Is it possible that you can customize your ship? That's a good question. Maybe. I didn't get to customize my ship there. I could customize my speeder. I could customize my blaster. I could customize my outfits. I could customize Nix's outfits. Like the gun was at a workbench, not unlike good old Last of Us. So if you are, if you're curious, maybe scrounge around and see if anybody else found out, because everybody went in different directions. So I was talking to people after the event, and some people went and did stuff that I had no experience. Like I didn't even hear about that. I didn't even know about that. And that's a sign of a good open world game, I think, is that if everybody can play 4 hours and get totally different things. How would I rate the game so far? 1 out of 10. You know, numerically, it's hard for me to rate the game without really getting to play it like on my own time. You know, in this setting, you know, you're at a station, you're kind of like in a little cubicle where you get to demo the game. And so the whole time I was playing, I was just like, I got to get as much of this footage as I can. So it's like, really going around in all the environments. I was feeling very nice and slow. I was like overhearing this. I was like trying to look at that. There's all these conversations and little moments where people are like fixing their droid, or they're fighting with their co-pilot, or they're gambling and they're losing. There's people that are cooking. Like the world feels very alive, which is really cool. And it was very satisfying to play. I would rate this, for me, if I had to rate it on a scale of like how hyped I am to play it, I would call it a 10. I think I would say I'm a 10 excited to play this. Adelina says, what is the hardest part of the game? I'm a noob, but I love Star Wars. For me, the hardest part is the hardest part of all games, which was the stealthing. I just really want to just run in and blast my way through. And sometimes you could, at a certain point when you broke cover, you could blast away. But if you're in an area that you have a very bad reputation and it's very heavily fortified, you have to stealth, at least in that section that I was playing, because narratively, like could Luke Skywalker single-handedly punch his way off of the Death Star? I don't think so. So like I do think there were some sections that were stealth necessary to complete, but then I think there's a lot of stuff that's open worldy that, like in Spider-Man or Assassin's Creed or whatever, if you want, you can go the stealthy route, or you can just walk straight in the front door. I mean, you could also, this is kind of dark, but you could have a high rank, I think you could have a high reputation, get in somewhere and then start blasting. I mean, I think I didn't try it, but you could. Yeah, I think there's some things where it's like the story needs you to be sneaky. I mean, and like Han Solo's not the stealthiest dude, but he still has to smuggle himself, right? I mean, so like there's sometimes in the story where you do have to stealth. For me, I got a little lost, but that's another thing. I got a directionally challenged guy, but then I realized I could just hit up on the D-pad and Nix would move the waypoint and it would show me like where I needed to go. And I'm sure there's a way to just activate that like all the time. How do you enter to win the Nix plushie? Let's do it. The people want the plush. The people want the plush. All right, so type into the chat. Let's go for it. Let's pull a winner right now. So the way this works is all you got to do, you type into the stream chat on twitch.tv/DeckardGames. You know the deal. Type into the chat and type anything you want. Type your favorite character in the Star Wars universe. And if it's Nix, type Nix. Type your favorite alien species, if you like. And let's find ourselves a winner. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you again to Ubisoft for sending me Nix to send all you. Beautiful, beautiful. Pardon my appearance asked, do you know if it has photo mode? I do not. I do not know if it has photo mode. I don't know if anybody answered that, but I'm guessing there's some streamers who put together an answer on that. I'm going to leave it going for just 2 minutes here to let everybody have a chance to type in the chat if you'd like to win. We can ship him anywhere in the world that the United States Post Office will ship. What part of the game did I like the most? Honestly, I like the setting. I like the world in which I get to play in an open world, which is one of the things I love the most about Red Dead. It's one of the things that I love the most about Ghost of Tsushima, is just that when I'm there, I want to explore. I like want to go see what's in that cave. I want to go see what's over that ridge. I want to go like, you know, into that building and see if I can, you know, steal all their shit, you know? Thank you so much. All right, last question, and then we'll pull the winner. Are there good versus evil pathways to take while playing? Like Sith versus Jedi. So we're not dealing with force sensitivity here. This is all smuggling. And so good versus evil is subjective. This has to do with a reputation is the best way to put it. So your reputation system is massively important. And so you might have a good reputation with Crimson Dawn. You might have good reputation with the Pikes, or you might have a good reputation with the Hutts. And then depending on how you play, you're going to have to ebb and flow in that relationship. So, you know, if you go deep with the Hutts, the Pikes are not going to be about you, and vice versa. Thank you, everybody who's typing into the chat. This is fantastic. Thank you, everybody who has entered themselves to win, and thank you all for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you. This is awesome. This is awesome. Wow. Let's get a little bit of love for our mods again, too. Thank you, mods. Thank you for helping me out. And are you all down to do some to run it back? I think I'm going to run the footage without myself on screen, and that'll give people who joined a little late a chance to enter in. Does that work out? Alrighty. Got it. The winner is Maximum 123 underscore. Maximum 123 underscore. Congrats. I'm going to send you some instructions in just a second by whisper with instructions on how to claim your prize. And I know there's a bunch of you right now that are thinking, damn. I mean, congrats, but damn, I wanted that Nix. Hold that thought. So, I was gonna wait and make a joke about this. So if I make a joke about it on social media later, will you still laugh if I tell you the joke now? The joke was that I have two of these, one for our little baby and one for the prize for today's stream. And I was gonna make a joke that I left them alone in the studio overnight. And when I did, they had babies. And not only did they have one babies, they had two babies. They had three babies. They had four babies. And then they had five babies. So listen, later I'm going to take a picture with all of them. I didn't have time to take them out of their bags and photograph them because they arrived like right before the stream started. But I got 5 more Nixes. And that's all because of you. Because of you, good people. When I was talking to the people at Ubisoft, I said, why me? And they said, because you have such an engaged and positive community. An engaged and positive community. That's the highest honor a streamer can get. So they sent me 5 more Nixes to give away. So I think what I'll do is, if we get enough hype for it, which I really hope there is, put it on the exclamation point games recommendation form, and then maybe what we'll do is we'll have a Nix for each of the starting streams, or maybe some for the start and some for the finale, or something like that. Very cool. Sally Cat, thank you for the cheers. Appreciate you. Maximum, welcome back for 6 months. Hello. All right, let me go. Just 1 second. I'll send that in just a second. Nice. Beautiful. Nix takeover. I know, I just want to be surrounded by Nix. My happy place is actually in a pile of Nix. And a lot of the other creators that got these guys at the event, they had them in a little claw game that you had to win a claw, a Nix from the claw game, save him from the claw, and everyone was taking pictures of their Nix like on the beach or like at Disney or like having a pina colada or living by the pool. Like, so Maximum, please take some pictures of Nix living their best life wherever Nix ends up. I really appreciate you. I sent you a whisper back with some instructions on how to claim your prize. Thank you, my friends. So I am gonna leave my camera out of it this time, but I'm just gonna run it back for anybody who joined late and wants to see. This is 20 minutes of my footage from from Star Wars Outlaws. And Star Wars Outlaws comes out on August 30th. It is available on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And I had a lot of fun playing it. I'm very much looking forward to its release. And I really hope you all are too. Thank you again to Ubisoft for inviting me. That was a super cool day for a young dad who is totally exhausted. And I also want to shout out to Amelia for taking one for the team because Amelia stayed to be in mom mode, and she said, "You love Star Wars, you go." And honestly, that is very selfless of her, because Amelia didn't get to go to Disney when we first found out we were pregnant. We went to Disney with my niece, and Amelia had to stay home. And then again, a second time, Amelia stayed home from Disney so that I could go and do this event. So that's love. That's love. So I really, really appreciate Amelia for that. So yeah, anyway, so thank you, Ubisoft, but also thank you to my beautiful wife. Let's do this thing. All right, I'm going to share the footage, and I will jump back on stream at the end of the footage, which is about it's not about, it's exactly like 20 minutes. And afterwards, I will answer a few more of the questions that I have from X, and then we'll drop a raid. Thank you, mods. Appreciate you so much. And let's do this. Chicken, thank you for the cheers. Here we go, team. Without further ado, here's an early access sneak peek look at Star Wars Outlaws. See you on the other side.
We made it. Somehow. Come on. Huh, hello.
I'm sorry. I thought you were one of them.
Huh? Lots of new friends today. Hey, we don't have to do this. We are leaving.
Good work handling those bandits.
Who are you, and what do you want?
Okay, you're mad about the pipe. I didn't think anyone survived the crash, but you did. So now, I'll help you.
I don't need help. I'm getting out of here.
How? You're an off-worlder, and this ship of yours isn't gonna fly anytime soon. But lucky for you, I'm a mechanic.
How many credits are we talking?
I mean, a few, mostly for parts. But good news, Tarsara is a great place for someone with your skills. There's a pike underboss named Gorak. Talk to him.
And he'll give me work. Got it.
That speeder in your ship will get you to Mirogana City easy.
If my ship's gutted when I come back, I'm gonna hunt you down.
Waka. My name's Waka.
I'll hunt you down, Waka.
All right, let's take a look.
Wow, nice. Whoa, this thing has some kick. Oh, okay, we're alive. We fix the ship, get to the core worlds, and land a big score.
I'm clean, if that's what you're asking. No contraband here.
I'll be the judge of that. Show me your stock.
For Holonet News Tarsara, this is Katara Brawl.
Latest wind forecast today. An early start to squall season this week. As a sharp...
Let me see some identification.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You're Torin Valerio Nupp?
That's me. Mm-hmm.
All right, move along.
What's your status? Over?
That looks like an underboss.
This is Governor Thornton's city, not yours.
Drag him out! And tell the governor the payments will not increase. I don't know you.
What? You never make new friends?
I have enough friends.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay me to hang out with you.
She's funny.
Waka sent me. He said, you might have some work?
Ah, what a disappointment.
Hey, wait! What's your problem?
Smart enough to get into my suite, careless enough to use Walker's name. You're new to this world. Come back when you're not.
What a waste of time. Good boy.
Stealing from a Pike underboss. First day? Easy. Name's Donka. I'm a broker for every job on this moon.
Not many syndicates where I'm from.
Hey, this is legitimate business. Mirogana is special, kid. Empire keeps this cantina neutral. But beyond these walls, it's war. You want to survive? Know the players. Look there. The Pikes have the most say, thanks to Gorak. Cutthroat, political. They pay up to play favorites with the Empire. Then, Crimson Dawn. Hungry for Gorak's kingdom. Crafty, sneaky. Unlike the Hutts. With them, what you see is what you get. Out here, you live and die by your reputation. That said, a friend needs a little something stolen from Gorak's private base. Some information he'd hate to get out.
And who's hiring me to steal from the top syndicate in town?
Sorry, kid. In or out. That's all you get.
Tell your client K-Vess is in.
Cute. Desperate, but cute.
Nix, go. Fetch.
I am not in the mood for this.
Go get him, buddy. Let's blow that up. Get him, Nix. Break that, okay? Okay, guess there's another one of these things.
Gorak's favorite spotchka recipes. Did I pass your client's test?
Why don't you ask her yourself? Meet Valera of Crimson Dawn.
You the one I was talking to before?
You pulled it off. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. I heard you stole something much bigger than this. A ship. Someone's favorite ship. Someone important.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Recognize her? Because Zarek Besh showed up with one of their best. Asking a lot of questions.
Yeesh. A death mark from Zarek Besh?
What did you tell them?
Nothing. For now. You work for us again? It stays that way. The Pikes are on top here. And Crimson Dawn is making moves.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Here, some fuel injectors for that ship you don't have. These should help you get off Tarsara.
So you know everything, huh?
Just the things that are important to us. You'll be hearing from me soon, so try to stay alive. Oh, and one last thing.
Yeah?
Bram's leg is healing nicely.
Thanks.
You're in our world now, Kay. Keep sharp.
Let's pay a visit to Gorak. Okay, careful.
Got it.
Okay. Blaster parts. Blaster parts. Hey, this'll work. Ooh. Your intel was good. I have the part. You got a workshop or something I can use?
I'll do you one better. There's a workbench on the Trailblazer I got up and running. I've also moved her to a proper dock at a settlement called Jaunta's Hope. Somewhere nicer, more comfortable.
Okay.
Got it.
Oof, I know that look. I grew up around casinos. It's okay to call it quits, you know.
I'm gonna turn my luck around. I just need some credits. We'll split the winnings. Honest.
Here. I know what it's like to be down on your luck. Wouldn't mind a few more credits.
Comet Dodgers banging against the gate, ready to race. A beautiful day
High
today in
odds,
Canton
but
Heights.
credits are credits.
We've got distinguished guests in the stands. Spirit of
I like
Sereno is
this
here,
one's odds.
looking in great shape.
Okay, come on.
The fellas roll with the race is on. The Fathiers are moving into position. Hopper showing off her rookie spirit. The fans are loving this.
I can't believe that.
Incredible race.
I don't see the stash. Did you forget the stash somewhere?
What do you take me for? I hid it behind the waterfall near Jaunta's Hope. No one's gonna find it.
They better not. If we don't close this deal, we're glocked to food.
Oh, relax. It's gonna be fine.
give those little feet a rest. Hey, you. Everything's fine, buddy. Oh, hello. Let's go, buddy! Let's go. Here, Nix. Treats. Oh, boy. So, this is...
Too fast! I didn't time that out the way I thought I would.
That's on me!
I was so impressed by the flight through this, like, ice field. So this is some pirate wreckage here just at the end of the clip that you're able to basically go loot space wreckage, which I thought was pretty damn cool. There's the loot. 3, 2, 1. Team, thank you for exploring this with me. I really appreciate you being here and for getting a little sneak peek at Star Wars Outlaws. Again, I'd be remiss to not mention that the game comes out on August 30th and that I personally am very excited to become a smuggler and have Nix join me on my quest. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for being here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Please stream it if you want it. If you want it streamed, put it on the game recommendation form. We're gonna go show some love to Star Wars: The Old Republic. We got Thunder Scepter who is playing the game, and I'm gonna grab a couple more questions off of what do you call it? The good old Twitter, real quick. Do I have a pre-order link? No. No, I'm in no way like incentivized to encourage people to play this game. I am not paid to do this stream. I am simply a Star Wars fan who got an opportunity to check out the game early, and I thought I would share it with you. So I'm glad you're here to check it out with me. I really appreciate you. It's on PC and consoles on August 30th. Just, you know, not a phone in sight. Just nerds living in the moment. That's not true. I'm surrounded by screens. Thank you so much for being here. And let's get some love to our mod team. Thanks, mods. Thanks, lieutenants. Great fun, much goodness. And yeah, we're gonna do a little raid here in just a split second. And Maximum, I got you. Thank you for sending over your prize info and so on. I'm gonna speed run the answers to the Twitter questions right now. Debo asks, how did you find the stealthiness? There's a lot of different maneuvers, a lot of different ways that you can get around. So it's not just, some games you have to stealth by just like literally lay low and stay out of line of sight, which I'm not that patient for, so I just don't like sitting there waiting for the NPC to look away. This gives you lots of ways to interact with the NPCs, to distract them, to attack them, to detonate them, to just... Nix can jump on their face. Let's see. Does the camera have an artificial swaying effect when you walk around? To me, I felt very smooth. All of the stuff that I played. I am someone who usually gets a little queasy if something is too like jostly or too narrow a field of view. I can get a little seasick in first person. I never ever one time felt queasy. I didn't hear, and there were no audio things that were messing with me like sometimes I can. So but I do know that the accessibility features in this game are supposed to be pretty intense, and I know that there are some streamers and reviewers and stuff who've gone into depth on that, so I do recommend you to look it up. As far as choosing a side goes, yeah, you're going to choose a side between these syndicates, between the Hutts, Crimson Dawn, and the Pikes, who are three different warring criminal underworld organizations. And you're going to be on the good side with some of them and on their bad side, depending on the choices that you make throughout the game. Let's see. We've got... where can I buy Nix? I don't know. But we have a bunch of little Nix plushies that we're going to be sharing. Yeah, they call them syndicates, I think. 3 different syndicates. We're going to be sharing them as prizes on our streams of this game upcoming. Let's see. What platform did I play it on? I played it on Xbox, and it's available on both consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Previous Star Wars games really balanced story and combat well. Did this one feel the same? Yeah. And also, like, if there's not enough combat for you, you can just drive over there and start shooting some dudes if you want. Like, just like in Red Dead Redemption. You got your main story quests that give you your awesome cutscenes and the cinematics and like the stuff that's really tied to the character. But then you can also just, run around and go pet some crazy aliens, some creature, or you can go do your thing with looting or sneaking around. The thing I really liked about that open world thing was the what they call the intel. So you could just you could be in a cantina and you could just lean against the bar and listen over your shoulder and you hear somebody talking about this. There was another time where I was leaning against the wall in a cantina, and there were these guys behind me talking in this little booth, and they were talking about how they had to basically jettison what they were smuggling, and that don't worry, man, I left it inside the cave on the asteroid, and there's shh, don't say that out loud, people are gonna hear you, and so we overheard it, so now we know where they left their stash. Yes, there's different difficulty settings, definitely, I believe, and you can even kind of fine-tune that in the accessibility features. It's a single-player game, single-player game, and you have lots of different companions that come along your journey, but I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah, you can stumble across missions, you can stumble across side quests. I definitely was doing one thing and then a new side quest that popped up, and then I was like, I'm gonna go do this for a while, and then I ran back to the main. Just like any open world game, it's really up to you how you want to get through there. Any favorite characters or NPCs? I love just going around and talking to characters in the game. Yes, there were lots of people in the different settlements and cities that you could just walk up to and talk to. Some people would ask you for money. Some people would offer you some intel. Some people would, just gripe about the Empire. There were people that were like very in favor of the Empire being there, saying like, "Oh, Kajimi's so much improved ever since the Empire's been here." And then there's other people who are like absolutely hate that the Empire's there. So it feels like a really rich, diverse world. I like Kay. I think Kay's got a lot of charisma. I think people will enjoy playing as Kay. I met Umberly, who's the actor who plays Kay, and she was a total sweetheart. And I also met an actor called Jay Rincon, who is the actor behind the droid. There's a droid in a duster, and his name is ND5. He's not in this footage, but a good old android companion goes a long way for a guy like me. Favorite creatures or animals? We saw some in the game. You can feed them, you can pet them. I heard from some of the other people that when they fed the alien creatures, they were following them around the stream or around the open world. Who is cuter, Grogu or Nix? I mean, Grogu's cute. Don't get me wrong. I'm surrounded. I mean, it depends. Equal? Is it a tie? Perfectly balanced. As all things should be. Let's see. Was there an aspect that stood out as most fun and enjoyable to you? Did you find you were focusing only on the main storyline, or did you easily dabble into side quests? I pretty much ran straight into just the exploration and side quests. That was mostly because I didn't want to only have cutscenes to show you, and I didn't want to only show you the main story quest that I thought a lot of other people would have footage of. So my goal was to try to go get some other stuff, if that makes sense. But usually in games we kind of stick to the main story quest and the side quests happen. But in this game I was like compelled to go into the side creases and little roundabout ways and explore. The aerial combat system felt very cool, and it did not make me seasick at all. No motion sickness, and it was fun. It was very satisfying. You got to get the lead on the shots. Like the cool thing about you're shooting actually like aim where they're going, not where they are. Where the you'd have like a targeting system, so you could see where you're shooting here, and then the TIE fighter's flying into it or whatever. It was cool. It was very cool. I want to explore it more. I really liked like the boost or the the launching. No loading screens. I don't have a lot of memories of loading screens. Just a pause menu. I think we might like be moving past loading, man. Like I think games are getting really good at this point as far as how quickly they can boot up for you. Is a nice contrast to be playing as a scoundrel character versus a Jedi like in the past Star Wars games. Yeah, this is not a Jedi game. This is a scoundrel game. This is a gunslinger, upgrade your weapons. This is a throw grenades, sneak around, loot the bodies, get paid to do shit kind of. You're a pirate. You're a space pirate, okay? You're not a space witch. You're not a space monk. You're a space pirate. Jeff loves you. I love you back, Jeff. Thank you for the gift sub to Kit Katu. Appreciate you. I think that's most of the questions. A lot of them are kind of getting similar. Heard people say the game is really immersive. Yes, I definitely felt like I was walking into the Star Wars universe. It definitely is a role play for those of you who've like always wanted to just like live in that world. And in fact, when we went to the Star Wars section, Galaxy's Edge at Disney, it was a bit like playing the game because you're like, oh wow, this is what it's like to get to just like walk right into the world. Toast is great. Welcome back for 12 months. I'm grateful to have you join us. Thank you for joining. Toast is great, but I am not bread. And speaking of I'm Not Bread, we played I Am Bread on our Whatever Wednesday stream last Wednesday, and tomorrow I'm going to do a Whatever Wednesday stream, and I don't know what we're going to play yet because whatever. How challenging is the game? I was definitely challenged. I will say this. I think they gave me a slice that wouldn't bore me. Like I don't think we're starting off straight like top of the game tutorial. I don't know exactly how much of the game is there before what we started with right there, but I definitely was challenged, especially with the stealth stuff. With the stealth stuff, it was definitely a good challenge. I was kind of feeling a little like looking to the left, looking to the right, like, is this guy done? Has somebody else beat this mission? Am I, but it was very cool. The soundtrack is awesome. It definitely has a kind of an interactive feel. It follows you like video game scores must, on how you're moving through the thing. The environments crystallized feel very alive. I feel like you would agree. And yeah, there's a weather day and night system. So there were some times where, I'd go into an environment in the evening, and then like some cutscene would happen where you're meeting a character, and then by the time you come out of the building, the sun has set. So yeah, I mean, I don't know the details of that system, but definitely you're progressing through time. It's cool. It's very cool. And I'm very, very grateful to have had a chance to play it. So we're going to keep the Star Wars vibe going with the Old Republic. We're going over to Thunder Scepter, and I'm going to go home and take my shift on dad duty. So thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you for spending your time with me here today. Whatever Wednesday's tomorrow, it'll be whatever, whenever. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Usually what's going to happen is the baby's going to be about to go for a nap, and then we're going to strike while the iron's hot. So actually the baby's going to get to determine what time we go live. It's little me. Thank you for the gift sub to IRL Connor DBH. Appreciate that. If you got one of those gifted subs, check out the starter kit. This will show you the way around the channel. And let's get this raid going here. Thanks again, mods. Thanks again, lieutenants. Appreciate you all hanging out with us. Really, 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 really appreciate the good vibes. And if you enjoy the game, go hit up the follow them on social media. Star Wars Outlaws is on all platforms, and if you want to show them some love on X or Instagram or whatever, reply in the comments and say you're excited, because you know what's happening right now is that all the developers that worked on this game for years, they're all floating around on the internet, and they're looking at the comments. So go comment some nice things out there, team. Go be engaged and positive like you so famously are. Go show them some love and see if you can't make somebody's day. And Umberly and Jay are both on Instagram if you want to follow them. And maybe we can get them to join us on stream if we do a playthrough of the game. That would be pretty cool. Do it! Appreciate you all being here, and thank you for hanging out. Miss Okami, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate you as always. Offering you a big hug if you need one. We send a hug your way. And if you don't need it, let it float over your shoulder to somebody who does. Grateful for you all joining. And let's have fun on this raid. My name is Brian. What? Oh, that means his name is Nix. And this is our Twitch. Let's get going. Thank you so much for the follows, everybody. I appreciate all the new followers. Welcome aboard, James T. Appreciate you, the Ginger Witch. Thank you for the follow. We're working towards our goal of 500,000 on Twitch, and I hope we can get there before we do the Detroit Become Human stream. Let's go. Raid!